All right. Welcome to DCT.
Episode 24. Ben, is it ever socially acceptable for a man to wear a scarf?
Well, I know they wear them a lot in high fashion, but among the working men like us, well, you don't really have a job, but
Well, that's not true.
no.
It's never okay to wear a scarf.
No.
Why? What if it gets nippy?
That's
one of my favorite words.
Nippy?
Nippy.
You as a man are going to walk out of your house and be like, ooh.
You know where the word nippy came from, right?
No.
It was cold, and when temperatures reach a certain level,
What happened?
certain parts of the human body tense up.
Like?
The nipple. I made that up. I have no idea where the word comes from. I would assume a pervert was walking down the street and was like, ooh, nippy. And then she was like, excuse me? And he was like, no, it's cold.
All right, moving on. I know a couple weeks ago we did our positional grades for the
Commanders. For the Commanders offense.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it for the defense. That's only fair.
Defense and
Do we want to
special
throw
teams.
special teams in there?
Yes.
All right. We'll include your classmates. All right. So, what do you give the defensive line?
Defensive line, and this does not include the edge rushers, I am going to give them a C+.
That's bad.
Not great. Our line has Deron Payne on it, which is a bright spot. He definitely makes a difference when it comes to certain teams. Like the Eagles last year, he was out for that NFC Championship game, and Saquon Barkley proceeded to, show us he was Saquon Barkley on the very first run of that game.
That was right after. That wasn't the return, though. They
No.
got it to like the 30, and then he broke coverage, and we watched that.
Yeah.
That was such a bad way to
That was
start a
awful.
game.
The first drive was like 5 minutes.
I remember he got past the first guy. I was like, oh, someone get him. Oh, someone should really get him. And it's like, fuck, sniper, shoot him. Hit his legs.
Yeah,
That
but
was terrible.
Deron Payne looks great. With him, we are slightly above average on run defense. Without him, I believe we're
Just like
30th. We added Javon Kinlaw, which I think is a great pickup. I need him to look more like San Francisco Javon Kinlaw than he did New York Jets Javon Kinlaw, which, I mean, is very doable.
That could also be a product of the team.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you look at the people around him.
Exactly.
And coaching.
Yeah. And then Jerzon Newton looked great. He's definitely a project somewhat, but I think he can really develop into the Jonathan Allen type player.
Okay.
Opposite of Deron Payne. So I'm going C+ for them.
What do you have for our edge?
D.
Flat D?
Flat D.
Hey, you said it, buddy.
I
Flat
cannot.
D.
I was really tempted to give us an F for
the
this
edge?
grade because you have Dorrance Armstrong, solid player, and then you have 36-year-old Von Miller and Eddie Goldman.
You know we're the oldest team in the NFL, average-wise.
Yeah,
We beat out Pittsburgh.
that makes sense.
We're at like 27.8.
Good God.
But it is.
I'm sure picking up
Zach Ertz hurts that. Miller hurts that. I think those are your two biggest.
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, those are your. Jesus. Yeah, those
I
are
could
your
just-
culprits.
I could just keep going, honestly. But I think, honestly, it's a good mix of older players mixed in with the younger guys.
I think the veteran leadership's great. Also, when you look at our quarterback, you're looking at one of the youngest.
He's so beautiful. But yeah, Dorrance Armstrong, Von Miller, we went on in the offseason and said we need to improve in certain areas on our defense, and edge was one of them. And our answer was to let the guy who led our team in sacks last year go back to the Cowboys
Yes.
and sign an old Von Miller.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I'm going to give that a flat D. I can't give it anything higher than that.
What about our linebackers?
That is the opposite. I'm actually going to give them an A.
Really?
Yes.
I don't feel like that's A, but continue.
Why do you not think it's A?
I think A's high.
I mean, I think ESPN gave them the 5th best linebacking core in the NFL.
Then give it an A+, bitch. Why are you skimping?
The only reason I'm not giving it an A+ is because we've really kind of lacked depth there.
Okay.
Our third string linebacker right now is probably Kane Medrano, who is a 5th-round pick for us. Like, he could be pretty good. I'm excited to see him on the field. But Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, a lot of people said that when we signed Bobby Wagner that it was, he's going to be a locker room guy with no impact. He did the exact opposite last year.
People were saying that?
Yeah. I mean, he's being a linebacker at 35 years old.
Yeah, but he played great.
I know
the knees go, especially when you get older, and in a position like that, it's brutal, but still.
Yeah. So, and Frankie Louvu, I think, is top 5 at that position. So,
yeah. No, okay. A. Well, that's a bright spot on an otherwise dull defense.
Yes.
And then what do you give our cornerbacks?
I'm going to give them a B.
Okay.
That's slightly a combination of not knowing what to expect and me being positively projecting. I think Marshawn Lattimore, if he had a healthy offseason and if he can return to the Saints player that we knew him as, I think that he could be a top 10 cornerback in the league. But again, that's all projection. He looked awful against A.J. Brown. And I mean, I know it's A.J. Brown, but that was brutal to watch.
I also think that game, it like we had just said a few minutes ago, it started off pretty rocky. I don't know if you can hold him up against that one game.
Yeah, he looked rocky the entire second half of the season. So I'm not basing it off that one game, but I expect him to have a bounce back year.
Yeah.
And then our 2 young guys, Mikey Sangerstill and Trey Amos. Mikey looked great last year, and he was playing slightly out of position. Obviously, he's going to want to be playing in that slot corner this year. But even last year, I mean, he had an interception in the NFC divisional game against the Lions. So he looked awesome. So I'm hoping he continues that development. He's looked good in camp. And then Trey Amos, he's a rookie. So obviously we have no idea what to expect from him. But we took him with a high pick. He's a high 2nd rounder. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to look great because he was projected to go 1st round. And we got him in the mid-2nd. So that'll be nice to see.
It's a good steal.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, a B based on projection.
Okay. And then special teams. Let's round it out.
Special teams, I am going to give a B+.
All right.
And that is only because, well, one, I think Tress Way is an A. But then on the other hand, we have Matt Gay as our place kicker now. And he is inconsistent. Obviously, last year we dealt with quite a lot of turnover at that kicker position. We started out with, I think it was Cade York. Then we cut him. Then we had Siebert against the Giants, where he kicked 7 field goals to win us the game.
Yeah.
And then Siebert went on IR, and I think we signed Zane Gonzalez after that. So it was just a
musical
carousel of kickers. But Matt Gay won a Super Bowl with the Rams, so he was very good. And then the Colts signed him to a 4-year, $22 million deal, I think. And he had injuries on injuries and just did not look the same. I think he kicked 81% in the one healthy year he was there and was 50% on kicks from 50 yards or more. So he might not have the legs, so we might just have to, kind of do the same thing we did last year. But, again, that's me being pessimistic about it. So
that's okay.
I hope that he is great again.
If you had to pick one of these defensive areas to upgrade, to address,
what
would it be?
Edge. 100%. I had a lot of problems with things the Commanders did this offseason. I had a lot of good things to say about him, too. I think Debo was a great pickup. Obviously, getting Laramie Tunsil was...
Did you hear about Debo?
Yeah, he's injured.
He didn't seem happy with that question.
No, he
didn't. That interview, well, I guess he didn't really ask. That was very awkward.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like, normally I shake players' hands, but I saw you kind of have a jammed finger, so I'll offer you a fist bump. I thought Debo was going to knock him the fuck out. That was such an awkward... And then he went for it. The craziest part is after saying that, and Debo's, visibly upset.
Yeah.
He's like... You just kind of see him creep his hand in there. Yeah. He's like... He waved it off. Debo was like, I'm not fist bumping you, dude.
Yeah. No, it was awkward.
Do you think it's a worse injury and that's why he doesn't want it being talked about? Or do you think it's just something small, but still, why bring it up?
Exactly.
That's how I don't think it's a serious thing. I just think, why bring it up?
It's like you work for a network and you bring in a player, first time he's been on this team.
Yes.
And
there's already been a lot of questions, too, about his conditioning, his health, what he's done in the offseason.
Exactly. And you bring him in, and the first thing you say is, yeah, I know you're a little injured there. Fist bump? Come on.
And then leaning in like a moron. No, I mean, that's a crappy situation to put a player in.
Yeah.
But also, you don't know what the team's telling him. The team might be telling him, hey, shut up. Do not show that to anyone. Don't talk about it with family and friends. Just keep it close to your vest. And then you have a guy on national TV bringing it up because he is going to just fist bump the guy.
We're also, it's...
No, I'm hyper-analyzing that because it was the weirdest shit in the planet.
It's early August, late July.
We don't have a lot to talk about.
It's the worst time of the year for sports.
It is.
So...
Still, I found that to be odd.
I agree.
But so you would upgrade the edge
100%.
Immediately.
Yeah. ASAP. Rocky.
Balboa?
That's what our edge is.
Oh. Not good. It's trash.
It's Rocky.
Well, we have a little game planned called Quick Fire.
Yeah.
It's going to be a series of small debate topics that I'm assuming we can agree or disagree on. If we agree, we both say agree. Well, that doesn't work. We'll both say what side we're on.
Yeah.
And if we'd like to discuss it, we can. You ready for the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the best hat? Bucket hat, baseball cap, beanie, or flat brim? Bucket.
Baseball cap.
No.
Yeah.
Baseball cap is second, but it's not first.
You realize how stupid you look right now, right?
Fat face. Fuck you. A bucket hat is the most ergonomical, safest. It protects you from the sun.
So does a baseball cap.
No. Your entire front is exposed.
I'm wearing it backwards right now. If I'm going for the sun protection, I'm turn it around.
Do you see the 360 radius covering my dome right now? Nothing can penetrate this hat. Nor should it. No, a beanie's... No, flat brim is the worst hat. I think we can agree on flat brim.
Flat brim is the worst.
It's ugly.
I have bucket hat at 3.
That's a wild
I have
ranking.
Beanie at 2. And
Beanie's 3.
Beanie, I love a good beanie.
I like a toque.
This thing looks so comfortable.
I don't like the... I don't know if this is the bean or the E part. I don't know what this is, but I don't enjoy that part.
Yeah. I like that.
I don't.
You ever just sit there and...
What? Do you ever just sit there and flick it? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think beanies... Look, beanies are fine, but they're 3. Baseball. I have baseball cap at 2.
All right. Well, again, very opinionated debate
It's just...
here.
It's about coverage, Ben. It's about protection.
What would you do if you were watching the MLB All-Star Game and all the players jogged
were wearing
out
bucket hats? Right on the spot. It'd be immediate. Cold showers for everyone. Okay? That's what it would be.
Moving on.
That's my fantasy.
What is your next question?
Pens or pencil?
Pens.
Pencil.
God.
That's shocking that we disagree on that. I make mistakes.
Obviously.
Your parents make mistakes. They just can't erase those mistakes. They wish they had used a pencil. Let's move on to the next debate. No, pens are okay, but they're not as good as a pencil.
I think that pens... I don't like writing with a pencil, honestly.
When it's really sharp, I really enjoy it. It's so crisp.
Are we talking like a number 2, like good old...
Yeah, Ticonderoga.
Yeah.
No, I don't want your shitty, like, Payless pencils. No offense to anyone who has to buy...
I don't like cheap mechanical pencils.
I don't like mechanical pencils in general.
No, the good mechanical
pencils...
No,
there is no good mechanical pencil. I don't need a mechanism for a pencil. I say that like sharpeners don't exist, but I just want a plain pencil. Like my favorite pencil is a Ticonderoga, but my second is the Home Depot ones. The fat ones.
Nope, you're done.
All right. M&Ms or Skittles?
Skittles.
M&Ms.
Oh my God!
Jesus
Are we gonna agree on anything?
These were not pre-planned. These were all made up by me. I'm surprised that you disagree with this. Skittles suck. I don't want to chew like that type of candy.
They're the same shape.
Yeah. I want it to melt in my mouth. And you can quote me on
Flip
that.
it.
No, M&Ms are so much better. Chocolate's better.
Okay.
Have you ever... Okay. Let me draw back here and analyze.
Paint me a picture.
Now I'm going to insert my opinion. I don't like that Skittles have different flavors. I don't like candy that has different flavored candy. That might sound crazy.
That's because you...
I want one solid flavor.
You're closed-minded.
Yes. I love the colors that come in Skittles and M&Ms. And they both have very similar colors. I think they have the same.
Yeah, maybe.
But M&Ms are a better candy.
No, they're not. I guess it's just the...
It's a texture thing.
Sweet versus the... Not sweet versus savory because they're both sweet, but chocolate.
Ooh,
chocolate
ham
versus
M&Ms.
sour.
Yeah, well, Skittles aren't sour. You dumbass. What are you talking about? You know what I hate are Sour Patch Kids.
You got to move on.
They make the inside of my cheeks raw.
That's because you have the palate of a 4-year-old.
I like M&Ms. They taste better. And you know what? You know what? I got the debate to end all debates. Here's why. I can put M&Ms in ice cream.
You could put Skittles in ice cream.
You're fucking insane if you do that. No, that's chewy and gross.
Well,
and you know what? Skittles get grainy. Like when the old TVs we had when we were a kid and it got all like snowy. That's what a Skittle tastes like.
You ever put
like
Skittles
licking a screen?
Do you ever put Skittles in your popcorn?
No, I see a dentist. What the hell are you talking about? Skittles in my popcorn.
We're talking about M&Ms and Skittles. You're seeing a dentist regardless of whatever the fuck you're doing.
You do not put Skittles in popcorn. That's disgusting.
You don't put Skittles in popcorn.
Oh my God. No. Chewy and crunchy do not belong together. Unless they're two dogs. That is disgusting.
Move on.
All right. Whoa. Wings or burgers?
Wings.
I gotta go burger.
Dude, can you do one that we'll agree on?
No, burgers are better. Think about all the toppings you can put on a burger.
There's more protein in chicken.
That cannot be true. Actually, that is true. It's a lean protein.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a protein pack in my game day food. A burger's better.
Wings are known more as a game day food.
Sliders. I think sliders are pretty big.
Wings are like the ultimate game day food.
Yeah, because it's cheaper than a burger. It's $1 a wing. I think burgers are better. And I'm not just saying that to say that. I think burgers are better. You get bread, you get meat, you get tomato, lettuce. You can put whatever you want on it. It's enjoyable. You get to use condiments.
I'll compromise with you. I think that the best burger is better than the best wing, but I do think wings as a whole are better than a burger.
I'm willing to agree on that revised contract. I agree to the addendum that the best burger is better than the best wing, but game day, I want a nice buffalo wing.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I agree. Hey, look at that. First agreement. McDonald's or Wendy's? Wendy's. Yes.
Yeah.
Frosty.
Yep.
Better fries. Better pizza. Papa John's. No.
Are you inserting a Papa John's ad into a Wendy's and McDonald's?
Fuck Papa John's, by the way.
Wendy's. Oh, actually, no. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but that's blasphemous. I think.
What were you gonna say?
I really do like Wendy's fries.
I think Wendy's fries are better than McDonald's fries.
Hot McDonald's fries are one of the best fries in my opinion.
They're too hot. They're scalding.
Nope.
Wendy's are also thicker. I like a thicker fry. I do. But you know what I do? You know what enhances the fries?
What?
Is the Frosty. Do you dip?
I'm not a dipper.
You don't dip?
No.
You don't put those little French guys into that little
I
delicious
don't
cold
dip in
chocolate?
Frosty. I dip in sauces.
Well, yeah, anyone dips in sauces.
Anyway, yeah.
That is probably how I sounded when I said it. No, a Frosty enhances everything. You can put nuggets in there.
I'm not saying the Frosty isn't great. The Frosty is phenomenal, but I'm also the person that likes to keep my meal separate from my sweet treat.
Yeah, you look like it.
I like to eat my burger.
I like a balanced plate, Bryce.
I know I may be sounding neurodivergent when I say this, but I like to eat my burger, then I eat my fries, then I eat my Frosty. I'm not a...
I can appreciate a regimented meal. I
Yeah.
can. An appetizer, protein, dessert.
Yes.
I like that.
My girlfriend will, no joke, we will get our food at a restaurant. She'll take one bite of it and then say, man, I'm so looking forward to our sweet treat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't even taken my first bite. Actually, if she's taken one, I've probably
You've
taken
inhaled
four.
it. That is the worst. I've been trained to eat fast because my person likes to eat my shit. No, my food. Moving on. Domino's, Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. You can't have
I don't
Pizza
feel
Hut.
well qualified to answer this because I have not had Pizza Hut in probably like 15 years.
Domino's has a sauce distribution problem that's been going on since 2014.
You know, I was actually talking with somebody at work about this today. I think that Domino's is... I really don't like them.
They're the McDonald's of pizza.
Yeah.
They are bad and bad. I don't like a single thing that they have. Their garlic bread is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Their crust is too fat.
The only reason they offer all that like ranch and everything with their pizza
Is because their pizza sucks.
Yeah.
You need to drown out the terribleness. Also, they don't have a mascot. What is it? A fucking domino? Like, I hate it. No, it's terrible. All right, last one. Mexico, Canada.
like,
I was running out of ideas. I don't know.
You know, their soccer teams are probably pretty equivalent.
Actually, Canada has some good soccer, right? Didn't their women's soccer team do pretty well?
Yeah, and their men's team is somewhat on the up and up.
I feel like Mexico is going to kill us for saying that Canada's just as good at soccer as Mexico.
Probably.
I feel like that could start a war.
They did-
because Mexico is not as good at hockey as Canada is.
They did just win the Gold Cup. Mexico did.
Mexico did?
By beating America's like B team or whatever. But yeah, they
Bitches.
probably don't like hearing that Canada is equivalent.
Believe it or not, down south, they're very serious about soccer.
No.
Wait, was it North Korea that like told the team like if you lose, don't come back? Was that a different country?
I'm surprised they let him out.
Must have been like a field trip. All right, follow me. Don't touch that. All right, I'm comfortable with that.
We never actually said which one, but I think it's good that we leave it at that.
Yeah, we agreed with a few, disagreed with a lot.
Yeah, mostly disagreements.
Well, that's how we are. Hot and ugly, fire and ice, smart and dumb, slim and fat. All right, here we go.
I think they got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be doing the last segment today. It's going to be a tier list. Right now, it's the off season. There's not a lot going on, but Ben came up with a wonderful idea to do a rivalry tier list for Washington sports. I think that's a great idea. We're going to do it with our DC tier list as always, but it's going to be a little different, folks. The top tier is actually going to be our least favorite. So the most hated rivals will be in our S tier, while our rivals that we don't necessarily hate but we don't love are going to be in our D tier. To go through the tiers real quick, D tier is going to be hitting a parlay with your child's college fund. C tier is no traffic on 495. Love that.
Chef's kiss.
B tier is going to be Mumbo Sauce. A tier is going to be the City of Philadelphia. Fucking disgusting. And S tier is going to be Ja Rule.
Fuck Ja Rule.
Hate Ja Rule. He's a disgusting human. Looks like a frog.
I think it's actually pretty funny because this is the first time that we've used this list since episode 1, which was 23 weeks ago.
Is it weird that I hate Ja Rule more now than I did back then?
No. There's not a statute of limitations on hating Ja Rule.
Cookie Monster. All right. What do you have for D tier?
D tier, with that hitting a 5-leg parlay with your child's trust fund. I do have the Charlotte Hornets.
So the Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets.
The Wizards versus the Charlotte Hornets. This is actually much more exemplified on NBA Twitter than it is in real life because both teams have a young core that Wizards fans on Twitter and Hornets fans on Twitter have been arguing about all summer. On one hand, you do have the young core from the Wizards being Sarr, Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George, and Bub Carrington. And for the Hornets on the other side, you do have your, obviously, LaMelo Ball, but he's like 24 now.
I was going to say, is that really still a young...
Yeah. I mean, 24 is still young.
Yeah, but he's not a rookie.
You got Brandon Miller. You got Con Knippel. You have Liam McNeely. A couple other guys I can't remember because it's the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, that's who I got in D tier.
I think that's fair. Moving on to C tier. I'll start us out. I have the Carolina Hurricanes. They're going to inhabit the first C tier, which is no traffic on 495. I don't hate the Carolina Hurricanes a lot, but I really do dislike them.
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, Caps won the year before, went all the way with Trotz. You're in Game 7. Justin Williams, who had trashed our team the year before 2018, also known as 2017, and he had trashed us and said this team will never win. He then left and went to Carolina. The next year, we won. It was fantastic. But in 2019, he scores from that left corner on Braden Holtby, sends us home in Game 7.
Brutal.
Since then, Carolina's kind of been a thorn. Svechnikov's always been a little bit of a prick. Ovi knocked him out, which was almost child assault. But I don't like Carolina. I really hate the coach.
Yeah.
Brindamore is a baby. He yells way too much. He bothers me, but it's not that serious of a rivalry, but I do dislike playing them. They knocked us out again this year.
Yeah.
We've had our troubles with Carolina, so they're going to be in C tier.
The other team that's going to be in C tier for me is the Washington Nationals against the Atlanta Braves. Obviously, divisional opponent is always going to be a rivalry, but for whatever reason, I feel like Braves fans, you guys have won one World Series since 1995, and I feel like every year they talk like they're hot shit. It's Ronald Acuna and the team. I mean,
they have a little bit of it's our year complex.
They do, yeah. And obviously the Nationals won it in 2019, and I think the Braves won it in 21, I believe. So relatively close together, but they've done about the same amount of winning playoffs
since then.
Yeah, so I feel like they kind of sit on their high horse and they don't deserve to.
It's just recency at that point. To finish out C tier, I have the Washington Capitals and the second round. I don't know what the hell it is, but my entire childhood, the Washington Capitals have decided that the second round is when they should hang it up.
Yeah.
Go home. It's been fun, folks. We're just going to not try. So that's what I have finishing out C tier.
I mean, they did it last year. They did it your entire childhood.
They did it last year. 30 years in a row since then. No, I mean, the run that they went on with the second round is incredible.
Yeah.
And then the only times that they didn't lose in the second round, they lost in the first round. So playoffs as a general whole have been rough for them. But let's go into B tier, which is going to be Mumbo Sauce. So this is where we're starting to get to, like, I would say I really dislike these people.
Yeah.
In B tier.
B tier, I'm going to start out, and I'm going to go with the Washington Wizards and LeBron James.
Just as a person.
Just LeBron as a person.
I do not like Taco Tuesday.
I hate Taco Tuesday. I think that if you are a guy in LeBron who beat the Wizards, I believe it was 3 years in a row when Gilbert Arenas was in his prime, and LeBron had been in the league for, I think, 3 years at that point. He averaged 32, 9, and 7 against them as a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, it was disgusting how badly he was destroying the Wizards at such a young age. And he continued to do it throughout his whole career, you know. He did it in 2005, and then, 11 years later, he hit that fadeaway three-pointer to beat the Wizards.
Sucks to do that on different teams. That's brutal.
No, he did it on the Cavs. He did it on the Heat. He does it on the Lakers. It's just decades of beatdown.
That should be the Wizards slogan. For B tier, for me, I have the Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers. Rangers, they're bitches. All right, they're really. I hate them a lot. They should have been an A tier for me, but I don't want to give them the satisfaction. For the longest time, the Rangers were a big pain in our ass. I go back to Derek Stepan scoring in, I believe it was Game 7 against the New York Rangers on Braden Holtby. That was brutal.
Yeah.
I cried. It was right off the face-off. I think it was a fake, or not a fake shot, but a shot that was deflected, went out to Derek Stepan on the left hash mark, and he shot it in, and I'll never forget a celebration. He threw his arms up like a stupid monkey and just started jumping. And Madison Square Garden's like, it's like you paid $10,000 to watch your fucking team. And since then, it's just increased, you know, with Tom Wilson attempting to hit on Artemi Panarin. That was kind of attempted murder. And then the Rangers firing their entire front office because of that display or lack of display of care for their players. And then Peter Laviolette going to them after he, I would say, sabotaged our team.
Yeah.
And then year before this year, so 2024, they swept us in the playoffs. Matt Rempe is a prick. Yeah, I hate the Rangers.
I like that. My last team in Mumbo Sauce is going to be the Commanders and the Chicago Bears.
Is that because of this last season?
There's really not a ton of actual rivalry between those teams. I think it's just me hating the Bears. And there's really only two reasons for me to hate the Bears. One is Caleb Williams, because he came in with such a fat ego that he was just, I'm the number one pick. Everybody was like, you got Keenan Allen, you got Rome Odunze, you got DJ Moore, now you have Swift. Like, that's the best situation that anyone has ever gone into. And then we threw the Hail Mary pass that beat them, and they went on a 10-game losing streak. And now that team with the quarterback who I dislike very much went into the offseason and said, hey, we're going to hire Ben Johnson as our head coach.
You hate Ben Johnson.
I hate Ben Johnson. That guy, I hope he fails in every year of his coaching career.
I don't get the Ben Johnson hate. I don't understand it.
You had a potential to be part of something special with Washington. And this guy got on a plane. And halfway there said, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
now that did result in us getting Dan Quinn and
so I was gonna say,
coaching staff.
You know, it's similar to like when the Caps got Yager and he sucked for us.
Yeah,
and then out of that, you know, we kind of got Ovi, but
he's an asshole.
He's an asshole. No, I mean, okay,
that's all I want to say about
I did
them.
like his speech when he went to the Bears facility for the first time, and he was like, "All right." We have a lot of work to do. He's like, have you seen this team? It's shit.
Did you see the video of Caleb Williams throwing in practice?
No.
So funny. You know those little targets they have, like the three lined up? He threw 4 in a row, missed it every time, and then he went, ah!
Like celebrating or like upset?
No, like upset.
That's pretty awesome.
I thought it was hilarious.
He
We should
seems-
move on
he
before I
seems
get
sensitive.
more into this.
Let's go into A tier. For A tier, it is the city of Philadelphia. And fittingly, I have the Philadelphia Flyers.
And guys, I just want to reiterate that the A tier status means that we hate them the second most in this tier list.
Yes.
We
the
don't.
only thing we hate more than the city of Philadelphia is Ja Rule.
All right, but continue.
But
You
in
have
the A tier titled the city of Philadelphia, I have the Philadelphia Flyers. They're mean.
yeah.
They're bullies. They are the Broad Street bullies. No, but they suck ass. Whether it was Shen being a prick when he was on their team against us, whether it was Ray Emery just assaulting Braden Holtby, and the refs not doing anything about it. His dad was a boxer.
Yeah.
And this guy just storms down the ice. We were beating them. I believe it was 7-0. Okay. Their owner, longtime owner, passed away. Rest in peace. It's always a shame when someone passes away. It's terrible. They gave memorable bracelets to all the fans. They
Yeah.
were like little clear bracelets that said like rest in peace, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
to the owner. Very nice, a respectful tribute. What a wonderful thing to do. The Caps come in there and say, oh, your owner died? That's great. We're going to put up 7 on you. And we scored a touchdown against the Philadelphia Flyers. In that third period, the fans respond by booing their own team, beating the crap out of us, and then throwing these bracelets onto the ice. They're clear bracelets onto the ice. So they had to stop play like 15 times. It got to the point where Wayne Simmons, great hockey player, wonderful for the city of Philadelphia, a grade A asshole, though. I think everyone can agree with that. And that's why Philly loved him. He was a grade A asshole. But he was great at his role, and that was his job. He started yelling at the fans with Ovechkin, like, stop doing this. 1, it's disgusting. 2, it's fucking up the game. And 3, that's your dead owner. It got to the point where the announcer said, guys, this is Philly. Keep it classy. And I'm like, whoa, buddy.
Whoa.
You got off at the wrong place if you think this is classy. Philadelphia Flyers, they suck.
Love it. Well, I'm going to keep it on the topic of Philadelphia, and I'm going to put the Philadelphia Eagles into the city of Philadelphia tier.
I've never seen a goddamn eagle in the city of Philadelphia.
You know what's funny?
There's nothing funny.
I used to be okay with the Eagles. Growing up, I was like, okay, Philadelphia's Philadelphia. I was also 10 years old. Like you said last
Didn't you treat them like they're like a Paralympic team? Like just based off their
Yeah.
fans, you're just kind of like, oh, that's
Aw.
cute. Like they're burning down their own
You scored
city.
that touchdown, buddy. Yes. But as I've grown older, I've learned to really spawn a hatred for them. And that's because of a multitude of things. 1, I dislike their coach, Nick Sirianni. I think he is a product of a great team, and he acts like he's Andy Reid.
To be fair, he did just put up 40 on Andy Reid.
Yeah, congrats. Andy Reid has 5 Super Bowls. I don't even. Yeah.
Continue.
Jalen Carter is an asshole. I wish that him and Tyler Biadasz had gotten into it more in that game, but that probably wouldn't have gone well for anybody. And the point that I haven't even mentioned yet, and you obviously did, their fans suck.
They're the worst.
They're the worst fans.
That's the only team I know that had a prison in their stadium.
Yeah, exactly. And it's annoying too because I have, I want to say 4 to 5 friends that are Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're nice guys. They're okay people. And then we go to Kraft House and watch the game there, and the one Eagles fan in the bar almost gets into a fight with 3 Commanders fans. Like, they don't know proper etiquette, proper watching it with
There's
other
no gamesmanship in Philadelphia. I
No.
think that's the way to say it. We here in D.C. are civilized folk. And when we go to the city of trash, we are appalled every time for some reason that they act like trash.
Yes.
And trash is what they are. Let's round out. What do we got? The last team in A tier, the last rival.
I'm going to say one thing, and one thing only. I'm going to say the Philadelphia Phillies are the last team in our Philadelphia tier. And the only thing you have to say is Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Let's move on. I think
Yeah.
that's a perfect way to end that disgusting tier. I feel like I have to wash my hands. S tier, which is all, as we all know, Ja Rule tier.
Ja Rule.
The worst of the worst. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start us off. First one, and I do think this is the worst team on this list, the biggest rivalry on this list, and I do think it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys Indians. Okay. That's an amazing rivalry.
Yeah.
I hate them more than anything. That's like the first thing you're raised to do in Virginia, Maryland, DC. You know, you're born, you come out of the womb, the doctor says, here you go, and you go, fuck the Cowboys. And then you're just like, all right. And that's what you're taught. What the hell is up with Cowboy fans living here, by the way? I feel like we have more Cowboys fans than Dallas itself. I know that's not true, but there's a lot of them here.
It pisses me off.
And all they do is talk about like, oh man, everything's so good in tech. It's like, you can't read a book, dude. Get the fuck out of my fucking state.
This whole, you wanna hear an origin story from the Cowboys and, at the time, Redskin rivalry?
Yeah.
The Cowboys owner, the first Cowboys owner, wanted to buy the Redskins because he wanted a team in Dallas.
Oh, you mean he wanted to buy America's team? Because America's team is not Dallas.
No.
You guys try to leave America all the time. That's your first threat whenever you don't like something. You're like, it rained here. We're going to leave the country. It's like, okay, asshole.
He tried to buy him. And at the last minute, the Redskins owner at the time tried changing some terms and conditions in the contract. And he said, fuck that. I'm not buying this shit anymore. So we started off on bad terms. Now, fast forward, however many years, and we have still one of, if not the most bitter rivalry in the NFL.
I think it's an amazing rivalry.
And it's amazing because the Cowboys, year after year, have a great regular season team.
And have the same postseason success that we do.
Yes.
But they talk about as if Dak Prescott is Jesus.
Yeah.
And as if their team is eons above our team.
I think it's funny because the Commanders have gone through like 5 rebuilds in the time that the Cowboys last won their Super Bowl.
Yeah. Also, Dak Prescott. Disgusting. Let's move on.
2017 was the last time the Commanders had a quarterback that started for 2 seasons in a row, and it was Kirk Cousins. And they're still better than the Cowboys.
Kirk Cousins. That's what a throwback.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. I'm going to be quick because we got to go. Yeah. I'm going to do Penguins. It's got to be the Capitals and the Penguins. Yeah. I would say that's probably the second best rivalry for Washington sports.
Yeah.
As a hockey fan, obviously, I think it's the best, but you can't deny the Cowboys and how palpable that rivalry is.
Oh, yeah.
But with the Penguins, it's on sight. Like if you see a Penguins fan, you want to kill them.
Yeah.
Like, they could be your mom. You'd have to do it. It's an oath. Whether it was Malkin when him and Ovi were beefing in the early 2000s, Crosby just being the absolute crybaby he once was, and I believe still is, Letang, cross-checking Ovi that one time and Ovi shrugging it off. You look at all the playoff success they've had against us, specifically, it's brutal. 2017, 2016, plenty of times before that. It's always been brutal through multiple eras, not just Ovi, but even before. We've always had a very hard time with Pittsburgh. But I hate them, and I hate their fans because they used to always say Ovi has no cup. Sidney is so much better. It goes down to player. Ovi versus Crosby.
Yeah.
One of them leads the league in all-time goals. The other's a bitch. So I don't know what else there is to say. It's if I saw someone in a car accident and they were crying for help, I would run over and immediately assist. If I saw any Penguins paraphernalia, I would promptly walk away. I hate the Penguins, and their fans are the worst.
No.
Their fans are fucking terrible.
Their fans are the second worst.
Yes, okay. They don't even like their team. Do you know how many times the Penguins have almost had to relocate? They almost had to relocate when they had Crosby.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having arguably what I would say one of the best players ever? I have him above McDavid. I do. And I have him above Gretzky. I think Crosby is the best player to ever lace it up. And I hate the guy. He's a sack of shit. But
That's a
he's
hot
the
take.
best sack of shit to ever touch the ice. To have a player like that and almost lose your team, that's astonishing. Yeah. Their fans are so fair weather, and they're bitches. Move on.
All right, last team rounding out the list. We are going to go with, in Ja Rule, the Nationals and keeping their star players.
Yeah, I mean, they suck at it.
They suck. Dude, Bryce Harper, Rendon,
Turner,
Trey Turner,
Soto.
There's
more.
Scherzer left.
Yeah, they let him walk.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Because you weren't going to be better. Do you know what I mean? Like you were admitting to a rebuild, and you just said, we don't want to keep this guy. Pay him. Give him a legacy hire. It's right.
They won the World Series in 2019,
right? Yeah.
And then proceeded to just drop everybody on their team. Which I get it. Like, obviously, other teams, if they're going to give a guy a $300 million contract like they did Anthony Rendon.
Why would you compete? And again, championship contracts happen all the time. Look at Kuznetsov. And I'm a big talker and saying I hate those. I hate championship contracts. You win and then you overpay. Yeah. Every team does it. The Blackhawks did it. The Penguins have done it. Everyone does it. Colorado's done it.
Yeah.
It's hard not to fall into that trap. But throwing away guys like that have been there the entire time, it's a bad look.
Yeah.
But like you said, to lose all these players, and a majority you got outbid on. These aren't trades. You know, it's not like you got fleeced or something like that or got a great return. You're dropping guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that wraps up our tiers list.
That wraps up our quick episode that we had planned for.
Yeah, we literally mentioned how we only had 3 topics to talk about this episode, and it was probably going to be a 20-minute episode, and we're running into minute 47 here. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Thanks for listening this week, and we'll see you next week.
Comment what hat is the best.